back again with a new video. As you can see, I've changed the background. I've cleaned off my desk. I've reorganized everything. Everything's placed into boxes, labeled. Everything's put into my Excel sheet. So yeah, everything's updated. I don't have a backlog of anything that I have to move around or place into a box. So this is great. I have a bunch of new cards in the background, cards I've shown off in the video, just items that I believe should be shown all the time in my YouTube videos. So yeah, so on the left, you already know about the cards that are always seen, the 22 Felix Potens, Nicholas, and Dewaquez, but I have the 3 1954 Austrian cards, the Unseer Zeitung of Ernst Happel and Hannapil and Ernst Awkwork. So those are the 3 that I've designated the most important from the set. I have a bunch more, some other key players, but those are my 3 favorites. The 78 Hugo Sanchez, you're familiar with. I've had in the background for a good bit. The 39 Fritz Walter is finally up there. The Abe Linstra from 39 is up there. The 1908 Johnson Clare of Billy McCracken's back there. The 1964 K-Show of Giorgino's been back there the whole time. Got the 1976 Graf Socrates rookie. Early mid 1950s UNC of Copa, Raymond Copa. One of my favorite cards in my collection. It's just so clean. And this is the only issue that I've ever seen of Copa where with this back. I've seen 3 others with this. So they come in 3s. And then they're folded out, cut out, I think. But this is just so clean. And yeah, so I thought that needed to be in the back of my videos. My 1905 Singleton and Cole of Robert Crompton. Probably my favorite English card to exist. Super happy to have gotten it when I did, because I am sure it is well worth over $5,000 for that card. In my opinion, it is one of the key English cards to find because it's an extremely difficult set, and I'm just super happy to have it. I have this 2005 memorable card of Turkey Stearns. So I lost out. Probably my biggest loss of the year. Yeah, probably. I lost out on a Type 1 photograph for him that I've been trying to get for a while. Because at the same time, I was going after the 43 Denmark album and the 1933 Libo album. And I was able to pick both of those up, but I had to give up going after the Turkey Stearns, which is okay. But yeah, so I hope to replace this with a game item for Turkey Stearns. If anybody's watching this video able to help me out, let me know. My new Ibrahimovic rookie, just a fantastic card. I like how the yellow pops. My Mateus Sindelar piece back there, fantastic. And then everything else should be recognizable. But I have 9 total packages to go over. I'll leave for Brazil tomorrow, and so I'm going to get this video out hopefully later today after I edit it a little bit. Don't do much editing. Probably should fix that. But for now, I'll just be clipping my mistakes. But I have 5 packages from eBay, 1 from Del Campi, 2 from the Discord, and then 1 from an outside deal that was discussed in the Discord. We'll talk about it because it's a mystery to me, partially. I have an idea what they are, but I'm not anywhere close to 100% certain. And a lot of people think they're fakes, but we'll get into it. So first eBay package, this Tony Zale from 1946, Montiel Propagandas. It's a Cuban album. I've posted these cards before. I have a bunch of boxing cards. It's mostly known for the baseball cards. Stan Musial's rookie cards in this set, his earliest known card. I know he has a supplement from 45, I think. But this is his earliest, Tony Zale's rookie card. He's a Hall of Fame boxer. I've been after it for a while. I finally got one for about 20 bucks. I'm still after one more boxer that I've designated his rookie card, and then a wrestler, the Angel, which I actually have an item of his coming in. So that'll be something I show off after I get back from my Brazil trip. Eddie Tolan. This is 1928-25, 35 Tiedemanns from Norway. I have a bunch from this set, mostly footballers. I have a bunch more that should be on the way as well. Some footballers, another Olympian. So we'll talk about that in the future video. I don't know what year exactly this Tiedemann is from. It states June 1930. I think it's sometime before 32 because I feel like it would talk about his 1932 Olympics. But I think his earliest issue is a colored Greeling that is either from the 1928 set or the 1930 or 31 set. I cannot remember. I think it's 30-31. He might have a numbered or unnumbered version or both, but I can't remember. I've seen a picture of the card. So yeah, so I wanted that portrait. I really like that portrait. He's on a bunch of Cloetas from 31. He's on several other Swedish sets from the early 30s. But I don't know, that one spoke to me. It was like 20 bucks, so I picked it up. Grot Gold, Hans Tilowski. First card from this set that I own. I picked up several cards from sets. You know, I usually pick up the earliest card of the players on my list. He wasn't on my list, but he just so happened to be the player in two sets that I didn't have. So the first one's Grot Gold. It's either the 64 or the 65 set. And then the second one is from another eBay purchase with a bunch of other cards, is the De Jong from 1959. I have a bunch of these coming in. So that'll be fun to show off. I didn't have any from the 1959 De Jong set. I saw that a bunch of portrait cards were up on eBay, about $5 to $10 a piece. I went ahead and picked them all up. I picked up all the team cards I could find, and I left the in-action shots. This was the only in-action shot because this was the first one I picked up before I started looking into more cards. Other cards that came with that one, and the Turkey Stearns also came with this lot. 3 more from that 1933 Schultz playing card set. Conrad Heidkamp, Hans Jacob, and Tony Cyber, something like that. I'm not too certain. I don't think any of those players were on my Excel sheet. I went ahead and put them on my Excel sheet and then marked those cards off. And then the final card from that lot. It's 1930-31 Greeling Liga Builder, Sport Builder set. It's a massive item. It's a massive album. Pretty common for the albums. It's uncommon to find these cards uncut. You know, the key cards. This is one of the key cards in my opinion. But this is Kobierski's rookie card. And he was the first goal scorer for Germany in the World Cup because he scored first in the 1934 World Cup for Germany. And here's the back. So these are usually cut and pasted in the albums. So I've been holding off until I found uncut versions. I need the Otto Siffling and the Paul Janes. Those are the 2 key cards in the set. Last eBay pickup is a music card, James Brown. This is from 1968 out of Italy. There are 2 backs, and I went ahead and picked up both backs. The other back, the Bisvaldi back, is not here yet. But I have this one. I hope to pick up more from that set. So those are all the eBay pickups. Here's the Del Campe pickup. My first Italian pre-war postcard. So this is the Juventus team from 1926-27. And you see Rosetta, Comby, and Ferenc Heiser. So this is my first item showing any of those 3 players. Rosetta has a 1924 card. That is his early. That is what I've designated his earliest. Heiser is featured in the 1924 Hungarian postcard. Well, it's a French postcard showing the Hungarian Olympic team, which I have. And he has three 1925 Manolis out of Germany. And he might have an Italian card from 1927 and 28. But that's really it for that player. So super happy to have that. Here's the back. One of two deals I did in the Discord. Graham gave me a fantastic price on these. So super happy to have these. They really pop. I don't know what they are, but some of them have unpunched holes, and then some, the holes have been punched. But they're large. They show Penarol players from Uruguay from the 50s. I have these sometime between 52 and 54 based off the players. They look really cool. And I like picking up the miscellaneous items every now and again. Cleaning up the Discord, picking up what others have not picked up yet. I thought these would go by the time I was ready to get them, but they did not. So thank you, Graham. That was fantastic. And Chris, thank you for this. This is a supplement to Tropical Times featuring Dixie Dean. I noticed... So he had posted one that went super quick. And then about a month later, he posted his second one. And I guess nobody was interested in the second one because it was damaged. Well, it spoke to me, and I picked it up for what I thought was a fantastic deal. Basically nothing, because this is 1928 Dixie Dean that you don't see every day. Super happy with that. Last item is something that I've been, meaning to pick up for quite a while, because it was talked about either earlier this year or late last year. Darren, he had picked up a lot of 1950s biscuit cards. I say biscuit because the actual word, the publication's Bolletje out of the Netherlands. They're super sought after. They don't come up very often, and when they do come up, they're mangled, they're in pieces, because they were transferable to the album. And so basically, you just were not going to get them off the album without damaging them, especially not getting them with the worded backs. And these do not have the backs. He showed them in Discord, and several people, they were like, I'm pretty sure they're fake, but I've never seen those fakes before. Don't know what they could be. And then somebody had the idea, maybe they're proofs. And somebody else was like, they could be like reproductions in the same like decade probably for people who are trying to like fill in the albums. Who knows? Hopefully someday I'll be able to find more information on these, because I have never seen these types of fakes. Darren has never seen them. Nobody we've talked to has seen them. He wanted to sell them eventually, and he wasn't comfortable to sell them since he doesn't know if they're genuine or not. So he got a refund, and he was kind enough to give me the lady's details, and I talked to her. And after a really long time of talking and debating and research, I decided to pull the trigger on the 5 teams that I wanted, because there are only 5 teams in the set that matter to my collection. Wasn't interested in any English players, Brazil players, German players. So what I picked up was every card she had of the 5 teams. And they're clearly hand cut. As soon as I touched the first card, I knew they were different. I knew that they're not your regular fakes. The original cards from the album that have been graded are not hand cut. So who knows? Who knows what they are? I think probably they're later reproductions to help fill albums. That's my thought process. The lady said her dad, which this is an older lady, said her dad has had them at least since the 1970s. She says most likely earlier than that, but that's when she can remember him having them. So if I'm taking her word, these are, you know, no later than 1970s, no later than the 70s. Colors just seem right. They're really coarse. They're not glossy like the originals. But they're just really different than any fakes. But yeah, I'm happy to have them. Whatever they are, I'm really happy to pull the trigger and have them in my collection. So Raymond Kopa. I have the French team, the Yugoslavian team, the Hungarian team, the Belgian team, and the Russian team. We think the original cards are sometime between 1952 to 54. And yeah, they look phenomenal. The colors just pop on these so well. And I'm not really a fan of this set. I haven't picked any up. They're always damaged. They're not my favorite cards. None of the players in the set that I'm after are Dutch. So I tend to try to hold off on picking up international sets that don't feature the country of origin, like players from the country of origin. But I'm happy to have these. I'm going to place them in my Excel sheet. I'm not going to sell any of these ever, even if I find 100% definition on like what they are. They just look great. And I have seen real cards from this set that do not have the lettered backs. The backs look like this. I never asked if those were coarse, you know, if they were rough or glossy. I just, you know, figured they're glossy. But yeah, I'm going to need to do much more research on this now since I have all these, but I'm just really happy to have them in the collection. And they'll be labeled and placed in my really large 5,000 count box of all my top loaded cards for soccer. So I have all the key players I would want from the set. I probably will not be going after any genuine graded cards from this set since I have these. I wasn't planning on picking any of them up anyways because all the players have cards from their original country, or like I know France does, Yugoslavia does, Belgium do, France do. The only country that doesn't is Russia. But all those players have cards in other sets. Like Bobrov is a great example. He has a card from Sweden. He actually has two cards from Sweden. One of him playing hockey and one of him playing soccer. And I have two of him playing soccer. I would like the hockey card. I also want team postcards from 47, 48, showing him on, I think, Torpedo. I'm not too certain. But you can clearly see that these are coarse and they're hand cut. They're not cut well. And I just feel like if they were being faked, these cuts would be a lot sharper. I don't know. I just have a funny feeling. They have that smell to them with aged paper, aged cardboard. They're really coarse. They're rough cuts. Maybe it could be a proof sheet. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm happy to have them. And I think I paid $150 for everything. And to me, it's worth it. Even if they are fakes, I'm just happy to have them because they are different. And they're really cool. So yeah, that is everything I have. I will be going to Brazil tomorrow for 2 weeks. I won't be looking for anything. I might go to a bookshop because there is a Brazilian book from 1919 that would be cool to find while I'm in Brazil. So we'll see. I'll be in Sao Paulo, and then we'll travel north about an hour to Campinas. Yeah. So if you have any questions, if you want to comment with anything, if you know anything about any of these issues that I did not mention, please let me know. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Peace.